Morning guys, from Kayakoy in southwest Turkey in Fethiye. Today I plan to explore an old abandoned village which has been abandoned for almost 100 years. The locals call it the Ghost Village. Let's check it out. No wonder they left. What a climb. Wouldn't fancy doing that every day. So guys, this is actually an old Greek village. It was called Lavesi, and up until the 1920s it was thriving with Greeks and Turks, but they both lived in harmony side by side. So the Greeks left here in 1922 and there was approximately 6,500 people living here in this village at the time. Check this out. I'm wondering if I can get by now. So guys, this town had approximately 2 schools, 6 churches and about 20 chapels. Also had shops, a printing press, and it was a bustling little town. There's a number of reasons why this village is left the way it is and abandoned. First one would be the loss of the First World War. You've got the end of the Ottoman Empire and the failed Greek occupation. This one seems to be in remarkably good nick considering. Now, without getting into too much of a history lesson, at the end of World War I and the fall of the Ottoman Empire, parts of Turkey were supposed to be divided up between the French, the Italian and the Greeks. And that plan was devised by David Lloyd George, the British Prime Minister at the time. But the Greeks decided they weren't too happy with their share, and they decided that they wanted to take more land, which ultimately that started the Greek-Turkish War. So the Greeks were ultimately defeated and they were pushed back, and in 1923 the population exchange happened. So all the Greek Christians that were living here in Lavesi had to go back to Greece. And the Turks that lived in Greece were supposed to come and settle here in what is now known as Kayakoy. All the Greeks were forced to go to Feti harbour for deportation. And it's said at the time that the Turks and the Greeks that were living here, they didn't want to move and they were happy with their neighbours, and they'd applied to the government in Ankara, but the request to stay was refused. Can you imagine what this was like back in the 1920s? That looks like the old church over there. Let's see if we can get into it. Merhaba. So a lot of the Turks that came here didn't actually want to settle here, and they weren't happy with the farming conditions. And there was also a rumour going about at the time that the Greeks had poisoned the water for the Turkish getting here. The church is closed for safety reasons. Now, I had read somewhere that they were going to be restoring it, but I'm not sure. It's just a shame we can't get inside. Now, there was Turks still living here in the 50s, but there was an earthquake and that destroyed most of the homes, and that's when the full village became abandoned. Can you imagine what these little alleyways were like back in the day? Merhaba.
Merhaba, merhaba. Ciao ne? Hello.
Merhaba.
Türk değil, no Türk.
No, Scotland.
English.
İskoçya.
İskoçya.
Yeah.
İskoçya.
Hoş geldin, hoş geldin. Türkiye çok güzel.
Etekos.
Türkiye güzel, beautiful Türkiye.
Turkey is very beautiful.
Hoş geldin, hoş geldin. Welcome to Turkey.
Thank you.
He say.
Aynen.
You
Yeah.
understand? Welcome. Hoş geldin. Welcome.
Beautiful country.
Ya, çok güzel şehir diyor.
Evet.
Very cold. We are living in Istanbul.
Oh, really?
We come here for holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice place. It was nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. See you later.
Tamam geliyorsun.
Still hanging in there. Tell you what, guys, they had some view. Hello. I can see what looks like an old chapel up there on the hill. Let's see if we can get there. Not easy, guys, but we're here. Check this out. Magnificent view. Well guys, I think we can learn something from Kayakoy. And it just shows us how fragile cultures and religions can be. It's hot today. Well guys, signing off from Kayakoy village. I'm going to enjoy the view and I'll catch you on the next one.